Good Friday morning, my friends. Sorry, my dog was just barking, so I'm glad that he has stopped. Well, TGIF, we made it to another week. And the craziest thing is the week we're looking at today, starting Sunday, May 1st through the 7th. About a month ago, it's the very end of March, I said, what intentions do you have for April? Because April will slip by very quickly if we don't have them. Were you able to do that? And how successful were you in achieving some of those intentions? What's more, what intentions do you have for the month of May? It sounds really kind of hokey and kind of almost like, ooh, what goals are you going to set? Because intentions and goals can sometimes very much overlap. However, if we're not accountable for our time, that's when all of a sudden it's been 2 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years. And you're like, well, where did the time go? So let's be more intentional and present in what we're doing and how we want to go forward. That's going to help you with a lot of those ahas and help you find what you're looking for. Because I can tell you it's not hyper-focusing in the future or getting stuck in the past, which are two things that we're very good at. Now, that said, let's look at May 1st through the 7th. Yes, it's back, guys. My favorite combo, Everyday Witch, Tarot, and Oracle. My suggestion, if you are a tarot maker, make both. They go so well together, and I'm not the only one who likes to use tarot and oracle. There's not a lot of purists anymore. We don't just do one deck or one type of deck. Many of us like decks that set intention or oracle decks that will round off that reading on a high note, because tarot sometimes can get kind of, well, blunt and call you on your crap. So, all right, that card's trying to get out. What does the week of May 1st through the 7th bring, my friends? Although tarot deck or oracle deck creators, the size, guys, size, it's crazy. Pretty soon it's going to be that comic book, like the jumbo where you're not even going to be able to hold them. I get you want the side, like the surface space for your imagery. Some of this is getting a little bit on the crazy side. Alrighty. Oop. We're starting off with air magic. No, we don't need to be in like a pagan or into the woo-woo. Air magic talks about that knowledge. The element of air supports us in getting those ahas. If you see here, he's got a bird. You see? For all my people who know birds, I'm pretty sure that's a falcon. Please let me know if I'm wrong. I am not, I don't even know what it's called when you're a bird watcher. I know it's a bird. I can identify that. I can tell you it's not a chicken or a duck or a turkey or a goose. Canadian goose, FYI, if you see a Canadian goose, they are not as friendly as Canadians are. So I can tell you what it's not, but I think it's a falcon. Could be a hawk. Could be a hawk. Let me know. Anyway, birds, butterflies, anything that flutters or flies is a symbol in tarot and oracle of the high vibration. Those high vibrational beings, the aha we get. You can see this sparkly, pretty, and we see this happen naturally when you're looking through a window and there's little particles in the air. Again, that aha. Which, when I was just talking about being present, so that we're here, not on either end. We're in the here and now. It's how we're going to get that aha. See those particles in the air. Oh, yeah. Go from air magic to water magic. Again, we still do not need to have a spell book or anything like that. Water, and I've said this a number of times in my readings, water itself is an element of purification, hydration, cleansing. There's so many things that water is connected to. In Tarot and Oracle, it's also your intuition. All of them are going to be really, really supportive. Cleansing, clearing out some of that gunkiness, that heaviness, funkiness that we're feeling, and starting to replace it with something that is more fulfilling, more us. We feel good about that insight, those little glittery particles that are going to support us in connecting in with what's fulfilling, what we like to do, what brings us abundance, joy, happiness. It gets us motivated and inspired. Healing waters. I love the little fox who's like, I'm just going to have a drink. Many of us do feel very disconnected, lost in kind of almost that desert where it's a Groundhog Day, if you will. Same stuff, different day. That fulfillment, that joy is going to be, I've got a bad glare. No, that made it worse. There we go. That fulfillment and joy is going to bring that lushness to life. Now, like I said, that water can help us clear out. It can cleanse us. You don't hear about it as much, but about 10, 15 years ago, detoxing was the thing. We don't need to be that drastic. We can increase the amount of water that we intake, and we can make our bathing more intentional. I said at the beginning of this session, what are your intentions for May? Well, intentions are just saying, okay, this is what I want to do. And it sounds crazy, but when you set intentions for your shower or your bath, I know, follow me on this. It's crazy. Go down the rabbit hole. You'll like it. You can actually get more done. You can call in the high vibrational beings. So as you're getting ready and getting the water temperature right and, making sure you've got everything in gear, take a moment, clear your head. And when I say that, just take a deep breath. No more than that. And ask for the help you need. I want to use the shower to support me in clearing away that gunkiness, that funkiness, clearing my body, mind, and soul. Can any and all high vibrational beings support me in this? You're being very clear. And you're also waking yourself up, because most of us shower right before we get up, like just as we get up and we get going on our day. Well, you're able to wash away that drogginess, because many of us are like, oh, I feel so great. I just cleared my head. I went and took a shower. This is the same idea, but instead of just calming your mind by clearing it out, letting the water rush over you has that calming nature, right? Well, we're able to clear ourselves out, not only on the physical, because the warm water helps our muscles feel a lot less tense. The warm water can calm our emotion. Spiritually, we're clearing it all out. Like I said, the rabbit hole does help. Using our time more efficiently rather than working harder. We're using elements that we already have in play. So we're not adding to our day. We're just making it more meaningful. We're bringing in the support. We need the support on all levels right now. So asking for that help goes a long way. Now, also, we have a healing new moon coming in tomorrow. It's in play. All right. We also have an eclipse, which is really exciting. It's a solar eclipse, so it's not going to impact the new moon so much. Rather, the moon is going to impact the sun. So we have that in play as well. So that's pretty cool. The new moon, I did a healing on Tuesday where I did work with that energy. It's a fantastic way to start to clear your mind and clear you, rejuvenating you, so that you do have that ability to focus in on what's going right, rather than getting caught up in the what ifs and the could haves and the should haves, or kind of beating ourselves up about what we've lost or what happened, what we think we should have received. All right, let's get into the week. What does the beginning of the week bring, my friends? So, of course, the beginning of the week is we're just starting out, and we'll have a couple of days with that energy, which is nice. That new moon energy that I was talking about. So the Queen of Swords. Now, this queen, she has learned all her knowledge, which is quite vast because we have the queen. This is a queen, right? That knowledge through firsthand experience. And it's not so much that it's the experience. I need to move that over. That we're looking at. We don't want to get caught up in the past, right? But it's using those tools, what we learn from said experience, it's going to help us move ourselves forward. Every experience has a learning opportunity. Some good, some not so good. Yet we can learn from it. So we need to use some of those harder aspects that we've dealt with and come out on top. No matter what has happened to the queen, and there's been some serious stuff. You don't see it so much in this card, but in the original card, if you look, and it's hard to see because you have to remember it was created in 1909 and printed in 1910. So it's not like the printing of today. But the queen has bindings on her wrists. She's not always been of wealth and of privilege. So we need to, instead of getting caught up in woe is me or why did this happen, sometimes we won't find out that why. And that's going to be one of those harder pieces that we need to kind of overcome. Help to clear our mind, our body, and soul from, so we can move ourselves up, get ourselves up and going. Now we go to the King of Cups. Now, kings, they got it all going on. They've got the most control, the most power. We've got the cups. We're back to the water. And please do not minimize how water is going to help you. It's an easy thing. Most of us have access to running water. It's an easy thing to support us in feeling better, both body, mind, and soul. Making sure that not only are we bathing, but it's also that ingestion. Many of us are at a point of dehydration. Making sure we have that going on. Being present and being mindful of that whole system. Now, king. Dude's in control. Usually, like he's usually sitting on an island with his throne, and this is quite the shellerific throne. The water is usually a lot more choppy than this. No matter what the seas bring, what challenges come forward, he's in utter and total control of his emotions. We need to make sure that the sadness and fear doesn't come out in the form of anger. We need to be in check and be present. How am I feeling? How am I reacting? So that we're not getting into that reaction. So someone says something and we rip their head off, and then we feel bad later on, and then they're mad at us. So being very mindful of that. There's lots going on, and we're gearing up into Mercury retrograde. So some of us are like, ugh. With everything that's happening, it's so easy to revert to that reaction rather than using our head, because we did have that air magic, that knowledge, using that brain of ours, well, we need to be very mindful of it. We need to be very present, because that reaction has a tendency to come when we're stuck either in the future or in the past. Also, first two cards, masculine, feminine. That balance is going to be really helpful. Balancing the inner masculine and inner feminine. Does not matter what gender we identify with, we have both within. I was ahead of myself. The Seven of Wands, talking about that reaction and that fight. When we're in a point of sadness or fear, we have a tendency to get angry. We're ready to fight. And it's really easy for our ego to kind of trick us into thinking that situations are more dangerous than what they are. And then it's just natural that we should react to the situation in an aggressive manner. However, when we take that deep breath and we're in present mode and we're like, oh, you know what? They're just asking me if I want tea, milk in my coffee. Like it's that kind of thing. Oh, hi, Jessie. Sorry, I missed you. I sometimes, and for anybody who's here live, if I don't acknowledge you right away, it just means I haven't seen the side of my screen. And it happens because I get going in the cards. The Two of Cups. Of course, who's the person that gets nailed the hardest when we get angry, frustrated, and overwhelmed? That partner, those important people in our lives, including self. Because a lot of times when we get fearful or angry, we take it out on self, we beat ourselves up. Or if we're in a relationship or we're living with people, they're the ones that get nailed the hardest. And then we're in that repair mode. We don't want to add more work. I said this earlier. We want to work more effective rather than harder. So being present, being mindful, enjoying the glittery particles that are in right here and right now. It's going to help us be able to make better decisions for ourselves rather than causing ourselves more work. So the beginning of the week, we're going to have to be very, very present for us, because it is very easy for us to cause ourselves a whole lot of pain. All right, let's go into the middle of the week. What can my friends expect from the middle of the week? So on Tuesday, you're going to get an angel healing. That's going to very much help with this. So you can use that to your advantage. Wednesday, I am hoping to publish Crystal 101 on crystal grids, which actually may help you start to work on some of this stuff. Ah, there it is. Yep. All right. Four of Cups. Here, we're feeling really blah and right? We need to be enjoying that holy grail, those life-giving aspects. But we're so caught up in what's happening, what we're missing, those could-haves, should-haves, and would-haves. And many of us, you see this kitty? You can tell he's going after them fishies. We're expecting and waiting for the shelf to drop, those unexpected pieces. We're kind of sitting on edge. We're so hyper-focused in on the expectations and demands that we're missing many aspects, many pieces, many things in our everyday that would make life so much better for us. When we focus in on them, we feel amazing. And sometimes that's just a little bit of self-care, and this is a big piece, creativity, doing those aspects, those hobbies, those things that we love to do. Again, sounds a little bit hokey, but when we do them, we feel fulfilled, we feel better, we feel stronger, inspired, and rejuvenated. Page of Wands. So pages, childlike, innocent energy. I was a bit ahead of my cards here, where I said we need that creativity, that fun, those aspects that bring us joy, bring us happiness. We feel excited for that next step, those unexpected pieces. So it's kitty cat's telling him, no, we got to go this way. And an unexpected salamander decided to show up and play. Instead of fearing those unexpected aspects, when we get excited about them, when we anticipate them, when we're excited to see what happens next, that's when those shiny little particles become amazing events. So the middle of the week, it's going to be about really being conscious where our attention's going. Is it to what's going to happen next? Oh my God, how am I going to deal with it? Or is it, I can't wait to find out what happens next. This is going to be epic. Same idea, different perspective. All right, let's go to the end of the week. What can my friends expect from the end of the week? Okay. Back to water. The Queen of Cups. The second most intuitive card in the deck, and also one of the most creative. Taking a step from her child here it's seen as a male child or a male youth, whereas many times it's considered like a female child or a female energy. She's taking it one step further. That creative energy, that creative time is going to help you really connect into those ahas, get you out of your head. So get you out of here, and bring you into something that is going to be more meaningful. You start to get more of those puzzle pieces. How do you move forward? What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? Those are going to be the missing pieces that the air magic had been talking about. The Ace of Cups, those ahas, those life-giving aspects, those new beginnings. In the Four of Cups, usually there's a hand coming out of clouds, thrusting a cup at you. It's the same image, and it was very intentionally done this way, guys. The Ace of Cups. Those aspects that we are missing. They come forward full throttle in on Friday, Saturday, Thursday, the end of the week. We've been missing them. They've been right there. We haven't been paying attention to them because we've been so caught up in the oh my gods, the what ifs, the could-haves, the should-haves. What happens next? We've been so caught up in that we haven't paid attention to what is right there. And yes, it is as easy as being here and now. Like I said way at the beginning, we can't be caught up in the future, can't get stuck in the past, because then that's when all of a sudden it's 2 months down the line, 6 months down the line, 2 years down the line, 6 years down the line. So a lot of opportunity are going to come forward for you later in the week, especially when you start to nurture your creativity, and engage in right here and right now. Love it. We've got Doolin sisters at the end of the week. Queen of Wands. I love the fact that she's got her dragon. She's like, dare you to piss me off. Same energy, guys. Same energy. We don't want to hold any prisoners. Actually, we have sisters throughout the week. We started off with the Queen of Wands, our Queen of Swords. We're ending with the Queen of Wands. We've got 3 sisters. So in angel messages, when you have multiple 13, because yes, that's what number the queen is, in the minor arcana is number 13, the angels are encouraging you to quiet your mind and listen to your intuition. So again, back to that intuitive energy. We all naturally have it. We sometimes struggle with it. One of the easiest ways that I can say to get in touch with your intuition is through creativity. Why? Because when we're in that creative mode, whatever that creativity is for you, you're not focusing in on the problems, the challenges, the demands, the what ifs. You're focusing in on the task at hand. What is it that you're creating? Whether it be arts and crafts, whether it be in the kitchen, whether it be in the shop or on the computer. Creativity is how you express you in a meaningful way. So you're getting out of your head, you're getting out of your way, and those ahas start to come in. That holy grail starts to get bigger, and it's easier for you to go, oh, has it always been there? That's when you're like, oh, that makes so much sense. Why did I not see it sooner? So, Queen of Wands, one of the, again, very creative lady here. You have double creativity. So creativity, you're looking at that passion, that inner fire, that zhuzh. Well, that's the Queen of Wands. She's all that and a bag of chips. With the intuitive creativity, this is when you start to zone out and all of a sudden you're like, did I do that? Another aspect, it's kind of the yin to the yang of creativity. So at the end of the week, I would really encourage adding a little bit of time, not a lot, guys. We're not looking hours, days, weeks. We're looking a couple minutes here or there, adding it in. How can you put that creative element or twist into your day? The more you do it, the easier it is, and the more you get out of it. So, what will support my friends in connecting into the messages and guidance of the week so they can get the most out of what is coming forward? I like the fact that you have so many different elements of that divine feminine, because also next weekend for, I think it's North America, you can let me know if I'm wrong here, but and I know it's for sure in Canada and the US, it's Mother's Day. So we have that divine feminine really coming forward, and that motherly energy can come in so many different aspects. So we're going to see that energy really pick up, especially at the end of the week. We're starting off with the full moon this weekend, next weekend, Mother's Day. Well, for many of us. Love it. Go with the flow. Instead of trying to paddle upstream and work harder than we should, maybe going with the energies, going with what's naturally happening, using that current to your advantage. You're working more effectively than harder. Prosperity and abundance. I love the fact that she's sitting in her garden, glass of wine, and a piece of cake. When we focus in on what's working, and our creativity is always connected to what's working. Why? Because creativity brings us that joy. It brings us that happiness. It's high vibrational. The more we feed it, the more we get. The more we're working with what we should be doing, the more we're working with our energies. And it starts to make us feel stronger, and things start to go our way. So naturally letting that go forward. Well, we couldn't end off without it. Fire magic. Again, you don't need that spell book. This is more that inner connection, that zhuzh, your solar plexus connection, right? That fire that we carry within us. We want it to burn bright so we do feel more fulfilled in what we're currently doing. Because that disconnect, that is only bringing us more sand, more heartache, and more challenge. It's going to be an interesting week, and I really encourage you to work smarter, then harder. I've said that I don't know how many times, but also set those intentions. When you multitask, I know it's a scary word, but when you multitask, like I suggested with the shower, it makes things easier. You're going with the flow. You're using your natural abilities. You're getting a lot more done. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. And I hope that this gives you an idea of some of the challenges that you're going to face next week. And more importantly, how you're going to be able to overcome them. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Helps people find me on the sea of YouTube. And more importantly for you, if you enjoyed this, I have more readings, I've got healings, and I've got some teaching coming up next week. So the best thing to do for you, hit that subscribe button and that little red bell so you know when I've posted or when I'm live like this. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. Until tomorrow, my friends.